Alright. Best of luck to these fellas. So we got Tensor in the yellow as the China Vanilla in this game one. Camera spin. And we got Mary's as China Vanilla as well in green. Another camera spin. So China Mary on Vendetta. Always interesting because you always have the option of either going a bit safer with these two supplies or playing it a bit more aggressive. I think for typically most players like to go the safer route. If you go for this supply forward, what you end up doing is potentially just going for a very, very fast game. So you usually either push your opponent hard out early or you end up getting counter pushed pretty hard early. That's typically what happens with forward supply builds. But if you're doing it standard like this, I mean, anything can happen. So I mean, this is as standard can be. 2 safe supplies, 2 war factories for both players. Question is, what is the first unit going to be from these players? Is it going to be Outpost, Outpost, Outpost Dragon, Double Dragon, Outpost Gat? There's a couple options you can start off with in China Mirrors. I think this is going to be a Flamer? No, Outpost. Then this is likely another Outpost. Outpost and I'm going to guess another Outpost. So yeah, double outposts from both players. And an early barracks actually from Tensor to wall off his supply. I like that. That's actually quite nice. Because you can also start pumping out tank hunters if you want to take these early garrisons without having to use up your war factory production to make the tank hunters. So Tensor evacs an RPG, try to snipe the outpost from Mary's, but only goes to half health. This flamer might kill the outpost if it ran into it, but it doesn't. Mary's outpost might snipe one dozer early, which is always nice because now it makes Tensor's expansions pretty risky without a CC. So that's just gonna be cautious for him. This dozer actually might get sniped if he's not careful. Flamer gets stopped by this Gatling, but it is very low. There's actually a Flamer charging right into Mary's war factory, but this Gatling won't rev up and stop it. Does a bit of damage, but not much else. The outpost also gets detected. Outpost trades here again. Shells might crack on each other. Yep, places a TNT. Outpost was trying to go into the supply line, but wall actually did pay off and saved the trucks from getting harassed. Did TNT that though. This Flamer, on the other hand, could be game ending from Mary's if he's not careful. Fast prop from Mary's. Not sure if I agree with that. But this Flamer I agree with. That Flamer is a potential game ender. Especially because he's on one dozer too already, so he's gonna be severely slowed down by this. Yeah, Tensor's. This honestly might just be a game ender. This one Flamer. Because you're gonna lose the war factory, you're gonna lose the supply, probably the barracks as well. And it's gonna cost so much to rebuild that by the time Tensor rebuilds, Mary's is gonna be on a Lotus soon because of this prop. He's gonna be on a third as well subsequently. And yeah, this one Flamer I think just won Mary's the game. Flamer going in from Tensor, but not nearly as crippling as this one over here. It might kill the barracks, but I mean that's just the barracks. It's 500. Mary's does stop the push here for Tensor, and yeah, I think Tensor's kind of checkmated here a little bit. He just doesn't really have enough, well, pieces just kind of swinging his momentum more and more forward. This Lotus is gonna push him forward. That's gonna buy him money to get a supply. That's gonna buy him money to probably get an airfield. maybe this supply or more units, or even a third war factory. Yeah, Tensor's on one war factory, and he's only rebuilt his second supply again. He's only a GAT, 4 walking tank hunters, and an outpost. I think Mary's is just playing it super safe by trying to posture there in case a flamer comes, but this is basically all Tensor's got at this point. Tensor's actually expanding to a third supply to try and greed his way back into the game. I mean, if you're gonna try and do something risky, I think like an offensive route is usually more likely to work, but I mean, like greedily trying to sneak your way back into the game can work. You just don't see it as often. Yeah, there's the first oil for Mary's. Mary's gonna get a second oil soon. This outpost is running grounds around the base of Mary's. Yeah, these tank hunters are still over here, but one Gatling can easily clear them. There's the second Lotus Cap. And it's a dozer situation looking like. Mary's lost one dozer. His last dozer's here, but it is kind of covered by these outposts in space. Yeah, he's building a CC immediately to avoid the risk. Tensor's actually gonna be able to stabilize economically, which is very surprising. Because if Mary's did send any counter units to him while also defending these outposts, I think Tensor was pretty much dead. Maybe it was just a bit of an overreaction in terms of the defense that Mary's put out against the outpost and gap. Maybe he could have just sent a couple of units from the sides, maybe another sneaky flamer even, just to try and clear it up. Yeah, Tensor's actually clearing up the oils, and funnily enough, Tensor's actually going to be ahead economically in just a second. Once these oils are cleared up, Tensor's actually ahead in supplies. So what looked like a very much game-ending push suddenly has Tensor ahead of all things. Mary's is 3-star, so he has carpet artillery, which could once again swing momentum back into his favor. But he needs to use it. I think he's just microing against these flamers right now, but yeah, it is very important to use the cooldowns immediately. Yeah, Tensor's now got more units on the map than Mary's. And yeah, this is slowly but surely stabilizing. Not into Tensor's favor, but it's stabilizing. Mary's is still 3-star. There's the artillery, there's the carpet bomb. And yeah, it looks like level 2 artillery. Oh, and there's a CC cap, but I think the flamer's gonna stop it in time. Yeah. Is that the war factory? No, it's okay. He combines it with the carpet. If he was gonna combine, honestly, I mean, yeah, he killed the war factory, but this supply has been mining for ages. Because remember, he killed this supply earlier, so you ideally would want to kill the supply that's been mining the least. Because chances are this supply will be more mined out, and Tensor might not even need to rebuild that supply. There's only, what, half a pile left? Yeah, it's not even worth it. Just rather collect lots of outpost engagements. Not a single nuke cannon, overlord, or MiG yet. I think, yeah, when Mary's had the oils, I really think one thing he could have gotten is either a third war factory or just an airfield with one of the war factories making napalm, because napalm MiGs are pretty damn good against China, especially if you combine with outposts. Mary's is very ambitiously going for this supply, which is gonna get denied. Yeah, Tensor's done well to actually recover here. The greed did pay off, which is nice for him. Lots of ECMs, but not a lot of combat units. And yeah, that's the artillery and carpet from Tensor now. So he's returning the favor. think that artillery is gonna go on this supply and the carpet's gonna go here. Don't think Mary's has enough to intercept. No chain guns. He might barely be able to. Oh, maybe if he stopped his gats sooner. Okay, he saved the supply regardless. Yeah, so artillery hits that supply. See, this is a better target because this supply is already gonna be mined out. Because Mary's and Tensorgg have been mining that supply since the start, so just makes sense to hit the supply that's less mined, or that's newer, if you want to put it that way. Yeah, I mean, the issue right now is that Mary's didn't really capitalize on his really massive lead when he killed half of Tensor's base, and now Tensor's actually managed to stabilize the game into a 50-50. But even then, I think this is in favor to Tensor right now, because he's gonna get this third supply. Mary's is kind of scrambling. Tensor's gonna potentially sneak this supply. Mary's lost all his combat units. He only has ECMs now. And I think Mary's lost. He's on one supply. His third's getting camped. And Tensor's getting a fourth. Or a third, I guess, because this is mined out. Yeah, I would have never thought Tensor would have won this game. I think Peace is really kicking himself in the foot right now. Because this was a game that was 100% his, I think. Another carpet coming in, this time on the third supply. There's a couple road guards in the base, but they don't have capture, so they're pretty useless for the most part. Flamer gets caught. Supply goes down. There's a troop crawler. It is loaded with red guards still, so it could chase down the Lotus a little bit. Mine drop, I think? Yeah, on top of the outpost. There's still red guard, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there are. It's 4 red guard. That'll gun down the Lotus pretty easily. It's a creative way to defend against the Lotus. Battlemaster's chasing the Flamer, but Flamer does outpace the Battlemaster, so he needs to be cutting it off instead of chasing from behind. Surprised that neither player has gone MiGs yet, because I really think MiGs are just such a strong answer against Outposts. Tensor runs into some mines. He does see the mines as well. He has Outposts, so no reason to run into those mines. Mine drop from Tensor. I think that's gonna be on the forward. Artillery on the main supply. Tensor kills it. And Tensor once again is camping out this supply. Oh, and he actually took the War Factory. That's massive. Yeah, this Lotus is gonna put an immense amount of pressure now. And Mary's, I think, has lost this. Really good stuff from Tensor, recovering. Definitely would have thought this game was over. Very nice carpet, but that might hit some of his own army as well. Prop's gonna get capped, but there's flamers from multiple angles too, so even if Mary's holds this, I mean, Tensor is getting so much momentum and free map space out of this. Yeah, Mary's calls GG. That you have to feel for Mary's here a little bit because he was doing phenomenal in the early game. But, yeah. Yeah, Mary's was doing phenomenal in the early game, and it is really unfortunate that, yeah, he lost that. And just check up on something real quick. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. One outpost which occupied pieces. Army 1/10 for the game. Yeah, game was 100% one off of that one outpost. I think Mary's just needed to split his army. I think just chasing with his whole army was a huge mistake there. So I'm gonna assume the players are familiar with the matchups. But I'll have it open on the side in case. Peace played too much versus Ja Ja Ja. uh, Not sure if I should comment on that. Right. So Canyon. Where is Canyon? There we go. So I think it's maps, random reversed. They're gonna say armies quick. Stealth nuke. That's a very nice matchup. Yeah, Mary's over here in the green nuke on the bottom of Canyon of the Dead. And you got Tensor as the yellow stealth on top of Canyon of the Dead. So Canyon of the Dead, you got your main supply, pretty low eco second supply, very heavy eco third supply, but it is very unsafe because it is past the canyon. You got a reinforcement pad over here, and you have a corner oil and corner artillery platform mirrored on both sides. You also got this little middle bridge, but Mary's going barracks, which tells me he might go oil grab. Oh, he's going airfield. Okay, that's very unorthodox against stealth. Stinger, actually, from Tensor. That is very peculiar. Huh. You don't really see Stingers that often. They are good against the Battle Masters, but they're even better against the Helix, so this is gonna be very, very irritating. I like this mini box off. I'm gonna assume he's gonna make a third tunnel here at some point. He could potentially even make a third tunnel just to have that fully boxed. That's actually a very creative box. But yeah, Mary's playing this like this is China versus stealth, not China versus nuke, or nuke versus stealth, which is interesting. Second truck is going forward, just to double check. Keep in mind, Helix is not cheap. Okay, this is not even a bunker. This is a Gatlix. Yeah, oh, this worker's in a really annoying angle. He might not even get this crush. Okay, he barely gets it, but if he has another tech worker coming in, he could just take that. Denies this oil, which is super massive. This truck achieves nothing, essentially. There's a worker over here scouting the third supply. Galix scouts the tunnel. Tunnel does get up over here. There's a quad and a couple RPGs, and it's gonna phase away the Gatlix. Okay. Red guard might take the artillery platform. Be remembers. But yeah, Mary's remembers there was a pretty high percent tunnel over here, so best to keep eyes on that area for him. Guard snipes an RPG. This rebel is gonna be able to secure this oil, likely. Especially with the stinger in play. Yeah, Worker's gonna try his luck again. But the Gatlix is coming in. Battlemaster's gonna see the rebel. So he may actually go around just in time to detonate on the rebel. Crushes it. Yeah, spots the tunnel again. He's just gonna focus it down, I'm assuming. Mary's, I don't know if he's seen this Worker yet. Flamers are coming by. Quick palace from Tensor. Dropped at 3 minutes 35. Technical over here. Is this the TNT? No, he's just gonna try and take over it himself. Ah, Worker gets sniped. That's unfortunate. Alex is going top, but it's not going to deny the rebel cap in time, unfortunately. But it is our artillery platform, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Lemric clears the Stinger soldiers, but doesn't really do much beyond that. This tunnel-less scaffold is still here. Mary's is making bunker licks now. Palace is 70% done as well. No third from Tensor. And I think that might bite him a little bit, because even though Tensor is 2 supplies and oil, it is pretty important to get this third secured early on, because if Nuke does push you out of there, out of this area becomes exposed, obviously, and he doesn't really have any tunnels outside of this little oil corner. Yeah, the Battlemaster even sees now that he's only now getting this third supply. Gonna lose that tech potentially. Tensor still has a Worker here that he hasn't realized, but problem is now if he moves it, Mary's is gonna get a notification that his mines are being detected too, so don't think he can really do much. Tunnel scaffold finally gonna get cleared up. Bunch of quads are coming in to this oil spot on the top to secure it. But Mary's is making a move. Artillery platform helps a little bit. There's 2 Stingers and there is a tunnel that could pop some quads, so it is very risky for Mary's to push into that position. Tensor's actually just gonna flat out kill the oil. I mean, honestly, it's the safest thing to do in this position. I don't blame him. Just getting a CC up. Covered by mines as well. Only this little pathway. Yeah, only this little pathway is uncovered. There's a hijacker that's revealed. Yeah, good catch from Mary's. This Battlemaster is being very annoying for Tensor. It's still denying that third. Rebel slowing down the artillery platform capture. There's first Overlord. Yeah, this is when things can get very dangerous, because once Mary starts making a second war factory, he can pump out a lot of high-tech units. And he actually has quite a few options he can go for even. He can go Isotope Battlemaster spam, Overlord spam. There's quite a few things you can do against stealth. Personally, I like the Isotope spam. But obviously the Overlords are quite strong. This was incredibly risky from Mary's to just send out a single Overlord like this. Especially this late in, when Jarman could be out. Yeah, this was very... That was a very, very optimistic thing from Mary's to do. I don't know why he did that. And Mary's is actually going gun mode right now and going in head first into a bunch of stealth tunnels. Yeah, this is a bit... I'm Not sure why he's doing this. This is a bit too rogue. Especially with one bunker licks. I mean, even if there was only one tunnel in the base, how many quads can you expect the stealth to have at this stage? That just seemed very, very bizarre. That was a massive waste of helixes. Nuke missile is being built, so he's gonna have nuke mix at least, but I mean, imagine if he still had the helixes roaming around, stopping any tunnels or TNTs. It would just be very helpful to have those as well as an extra unit. Now he just has one less option for no reason. This Overlord wasn't reclaimed either or protected, so Tensor's gonna steal a free Overlord. Yeah, this is not a good position for Peace to be in, honestly. He should be in a way better spot, but I think he threw quite a lot away by throwing away those helixes for no reason. I mean, granted, this supply still has not been collecting, but all Tensor really needs to do is kind of slowly crawl to that spot, and he kind of wins. Peace has to make a move. Yeah, the nuke MiGs are... Yeah, they got their upgrade now. No MiG armor yet, but they got the important upgrade out at least, so Bus is gonna have to be very careful. And he can also invest into Neutron once he has enough surplus cash, but I think what he really needs is a second war factory. Because he's spamming overlords on one war factory, so he's got very few army numbers when he could quite literally have double this number if he had a second war factory. Yeah, it's very ambitious again. Hits the overlord instead of quads. It needs like 4 MiGs for the overlord. No reason really to target it. Yeah, he's just gonna lose another overlord. I'm not sure what he's doing. Yeah, this is a bit poor from Peace. I'm gonna be very honest. I expected a bit better than this, because I know he can do better. But yeah, now he's got 2 overlords and drops the scaffold for the cash bounty. Now he can comfortably bunker this in, especially now that he has 2 overlords on defense. And now all Marius has is MiGs, and while MiGs are really good against army, they're terrible against sieging buildings, so you can't really do much in this position. This is why I was kind of hoping Peace would go for a second war factory earlier, because at the end of the day, the MiGs are a good support unit, but they don't win the game on their own. You kind of need some kind of army, whether that's Helix or Overlords, Battlemasters, to actually break the buildings down, to kill the tunnels and whatnot. There's 2 markets for Tensor, but he's still got this oil. He's gonna have a fresh supply he can mine, because he's only getting this now at the 11th minute. He has overlords in tunnel too, so it's not like he has no army to defend this. He can very easily defend this at this point, especially because he has more overlords than Marius at this point. He's actually pushing onto the CC, and this worker finally comes out of the trees and builds a tunnel. He's gonna Jarman snipe that dozer, but it's under mines, so he needs to wait until the mines dissipate. MiGs are coming in, but they're no MiG armor, so they kind of get shredded by AP quads. Jarman gets sniped, but he can send the worker even to take this dozer, because it is immune to mines. Yeah, that's exactly what it's gonna do. Once Tensor has power, this is super over, because Marius is literally on 0 cash. Yep, I think he just put a scaffold. Or no, he didn't. Huh. Okay. He didn't put a scaffold, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Marius has no cash. He can't even rebuild the supply unless he starts selling his whole base. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate there. I mean, it's another game where I think Marius was in a really good spot. Early game at least. I mean, Granted, this oil got denied, but he got this oil. And he was on an early prop and denied this third supply while he was on a fourth for a while. But he didn't really take advantage of it. He's not really pressing with his lead as much as he should, so if you're economically ahead, you ideally want to abuse that by either getting more economically ahead or just making such a big army that your opponent can't match at that point, or doing something that your opponent can't match in general, whether that be defense spam or making that ground army or tech, whatever it may be. Yeah, one overlord and an outpost. I mean, one Jarman basically kills the whole firepower of this army. And we're about to see that demonstration right now. Yeah, exactly. And he's gonna have to play footsie with this Jarman a little bit with the evac. One tank hunter gets sniped. One left, but Jarman can just attack him with that easily. There's Nuke Mig. It hits the overlord again. Yeah, you shouldn't be hitting overlords with the Nuke Migs because they're too tanky to die to one. You need 4 again. You'd rather just hit the quads, so you can take out like a 3 or 4 quads together ideally. It's long distance collecting. Scud is built. Mary says a GG. Yeah. Tensor's playing well. Tensor is playing well. But I do also think that Marius isn't playing his very best. Plural of helixes, helices. I'm aware. I just slipped up. Let me just update the scoreboard. Alright. Going on to game 3. Okay. We got... Now Marius is the stealth. Green. And Tensor as the nuke in yellow. Swapped armies now. It's random reverse, so they swapped the armies. And this time we're gonna see what Tensor goes for. I kind of disliked this whole China Vanilla at home build from Mary's last game. He's not the only one who does this build where he goes Gatlix into Eco Boom. I've seen a couple other players do it. I think it's a pretty bad build. I think if you're gonna do something like that, you may as well do it with China Vanilla, because you have a more expensive helix and you're not really abusing Nuke's power as much. If you really want to do something crazy like an Eco Boom, I honestly would even go as far as saying Prop War Factory is better than that, because at least you can get a fast Lotus. Or Barracks War Factory. But I think Airfield into Gatlix's nuke is just very underwhelming in most maps. Maris is actually going for an early 3rd supply. And he stealths it. Interesting. We need to see if Tensor picks up on that, because that actually could be very massive if he doesn't. Here's the tech. With 2 RPGs and a terrorist. First Battlemaster's coming in. This is unwalled still, so Battlemaster is gonna have free reign into the supply line, and 3 supplies is good unless you don't really have a way to defend it, in which case it's pretty bad. power plant is mined. It's in a pretty nice spot as well. I think it's just because of the player positioning that the power plant's like that. Hijacker is coming into play. Yeah, this is I think what I was expecting as well. Basically, you have a early hijacker as well with a triple supply like this. Marys does actually expert enough to buy time for the hijacker, which is good. So he will get that tunnel up. Tech, I think, was intercepted, but it looks like it took out Battlemaster. This flamer might die because the flame wall is a bit too far. So it's not going to deal enough damage to the tunnel. Tunnel might die to the after damage, yeah, from the flame wall, but it will go down still. Battlemasters will finish off the left hand to the hole. Another Battlemaster here. Versus the middle tunnel. He's his own Battlemaster, so he could send this on the side to start harassing. Or he might just use this more defensively. I think he will just play it defensively. Which makes sense because Marius is on a third, so he's not really obliged to go on the offense here. Tunnel got up at the third supply, which is pretty important. This Battlemaster is quite low. Yeah, both these Battlemasters are low because of the collateral damage. Hijacker's chasing Battlemaster dying to a garrison. He's gonna retarget through the middle. I think this is a real barracks, so it's gonna take a while to kill anyways. Palace is being built, but it might get delayed. Battlemasters are gonna blow each other up. There's hijacks another one. And yeah, Battlemaster push is held for now. But there is a super tech from Marius, and this is massive. Battlemaster does actually crush the worker line, so it looks like Tensorgg is aware of the invisible supply. But he's gonna give Marius a super tech now. No sign of prop yet. That dozer's free pickings actually. Yeah, maybe you should go for that. Gets a free dozer. It was very out of position, so as free a dozer as can get. Alright, he's making more tunnels. Tunnel to the oils. This oil is already captured. Mary's looking very good so far. Whoa, hijacker gets crushed. Lots of RPGs went down. That was the bus basically, fully delayed. Yeah, that's a pretty big loss actually. That doesn't look like that big of a loss, but he just lost all those RPGs that he was gonna load the bus with. So that's gonna take some time to replenish. Tensorgg is just playing on the full Battlemaster spam. And yeah, this is where the bus would have been helpful because you can at least kite the Battlemasters a little bit here. Tunnel is gonna get killed off. Another hijacker. There's no outposts yet, so these hijackers are just gonna be very annoying. Yep. Oh, super tech's gonna come in as support. It's gonna be a massive explosion. Killed two. That's Marius' Battlemaster. There's one really low HP one. But Marius is stabilizing a little bit. Building a tunnel inside the box. Bus is coming out. There's the battle bus. Battle bus is very deadly at this stage. He'll lose the super tech, but the bus is gonna be pretty annoying in its own right. Needs to be careful not to lose the bus as well though. Jarman is out, so he's gonna help out a little bit. Yeah, Marius just needs to start spamming 52 tunnels at this point. Because Tensorgg's quite far behind. And it looks like he is just committing to the Battlemaster spam. He will lose this bus to the bunker, I think. Yeah. But he's made another bus, so he can easily replenish it. Yeah, Marius is even pumping out RPGs from the barracks. Ah, this is an empty bus. He's just losing the bus for no reason. Lost his Jarman to the splash damage. Y Palace in the back. It could block south of his base. you sometimes want to have a safer palace than a forward palace, because the forward palace can be easily cleared up. Yeah, Mary's is even making a second arms dealer here. Drop down the CC scaffold. Needs to be careful not to get that cancelled. He actually got that cancelled because he didn't get the money back and he lost it. So that's minus 2,000. Sneaky tunnel there from Mary's. That's a game-winning tunnel. Prop is being built. Tensor is still on the 2 War Factory, 2 supplies. Mary's now has the other oil here as well. Yeah, this is going to be a very uphill battle for Tensor. He needs a really, really good push to win at this stage. But even if he pushes main base, this is also annoying to push. This is also annoying to push. Even this is annoying to push because of how far it is from his main base. Yeah, I'm a bit curious as to what Tensor does here. Is he gonna go Overlords or Isotope spam? Looks like Overlords. But it is a lot of Battle Masters. Oh, that Overlord's out of position. Really, really unlucky timing for Tensor. Because he's just gonna take it for himself. Mary's his. And yeah, this is game ending. His War Factory is being camped and his army is super out of position. You can't be in a position like this against stealth. You have to always be on the ball with positioning, otherwise you kind of get owned by any counterattack. Second bus is out. There's no ECM covering this Battlemaster army, so this army could just blow up in an instant. And that's what's gonna happen right now. Yep. Whole army gets combusted into nuclear ash or nuclear radiation. Second Overlord gets taken and Mary's finally wins the game. That's good. Mary's gets his first game in this set. Gets off the initial jitters. Tensor is looking to play on Vendetta. Had that in the China mirror as well, so... Let's see. Tank Tux. Think you can win this both ways, honestly, on a map like this. Just because the third supply is really good for China's. So we got Tensor as the yellow tank, bottom of Vendetta. And Mary's as the Tox in green on the top of Vendetta. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Basically, you go for 3 supply builds as tank or nuke if you're against a GLA here. It's very annoying to stop because you send the first truck here to hunt the tunnels near the oils or near the city. You make a war factory. Once this dozer finishes, you send it over here to make a quick third supply. And you'll be on an easy 3 supplies, and then obviously once you're on 3 supplies as China, you could very easily spam 3 supplies to supply 3 war factories. Trucks going forward has not found the worker on the left and does not go for the worker on the right, so this tunnel is probably going to get up. Theris is being lined into the supply line of Tensor. This tunnel might get denied barely. No, it barely gets up. Tensor being very greedy goes to the RPGs. Gets one RPG from the terrorist explosion. Gat is the first scene of choice. Oh, he actually went to War Factory. To War Factory with this forward. Okay. Hmm. He's playing it safer. But I would have just gone for the third, honestly. Because it is very hard to stop him. Gat does bug out a little bit. Crushes the RPGs. Tech needed to be firing a little bit, or at least soaking more damage for the RPGs. That Tech RPG is fully cleared up by one Gatling. Flamer's going forward. Flamer will clear up this tunnel, which is pretty crucial, because taking these garrisons is quite helpful against slowing down tank. Another Tech RPG, I think. Snuck in. Flamer will kill a barracks. Nope, it's a terrorist. He's just gonna try and kill the trucks quick by dropping off terrorists on them. Oh, kills 2 trucks. That's pretty big. And he's not scrap denied. Oh, and he just gave him a free super tech. Yeah, that super tech alone can win the game. So, and having said that, Tensor is in the base of Mary's, whose base is actually getting shattered as well. Gatling's gonna go into the supply line here shortly. Doesn't get microed. One dozer goes down. It's still 2 war factories, but if Mary's micros well enough, he could just win the game off that super tech. He has Scorpion rockets too, so he needs to preserve his Scorpions if he can, especially against this outpost. But Mary's is on fumes right now. He's rebuilt the supply here. I really don't know why I didn't build the supply here, because this was incredibly unsafe. Because you already know your base is getting raided. You may as well put it on an unexpected spot to try and take advantage of it. Super tech does go down, and I mean, without the super tech, I don't think Mary's has enough to really push Tensor back. His only supply is getting camped, and Mary's literally has no income once the scat kills these workers. So good try from Mary's with the super tech, but I think he needed to micro it better if he wanted to come back. Yeah, Mary's too far behind. One helix and it's checkmate, basically. I mean, even if Mary's kills every single flamer that comes in now, and he's not because this flamer is killing his last supply, he still has nothing for a helix anyways. Yeah, Mary's literally on 0 income. He'd have to kill a tunnel and sell his arms leaders to have enough cash to not also get kicked. That's how bad the money situation is. There is another super tech, but I mean, yeah, Helix literally is unstoppable at this stage. It does not matter what he does. Yeah, he saw it when he popped the RPGs and he just quit.
You have been defeated.
So yeah, I think Tensor had the better early game there for sure. But Mary's definitely had a out with the super tech, but I mean, even with that out, I think Tensor was still pretty convincingly ahead. Oh, yeah. Let's test the me host. Sure, can do. Ping is 20. Mary's only wins versus Boyka. Disagree. Mary asking if I can leave for a test. Not sure if I lag. Didn't seem too laggy when I was streaming it. If I look at the latency. I mean, I haven't paid attention to the latency. Oh, it was in the 30s. Not quite sure. Maybe it is me. In which case, it might be replay cast time. See what happens here. Ping was 28. When you left, got 10. Wait, I'm just gonna ask him to send on Discord. Yeah, so we're just gonna wait for replays, I guess, in the meantime. So while I'm waiting for replay casts to happen, it's gonna be tank talks, so not sure how long it's gonna take. I might have my phone open in the background just so I can see Discord immediately, but till that happens, not quite sure what to do in the background. Would you guys be interested in watching me play the campaign while I wait? I'm not sure if that's something people would want to see. Because I gotta do something in the background. I don't want to keep 66 people waiting in the lobby. Let's see. Cast Scuba versus Staz Game 6. That seems oddly specific. Why that game? I'm gonna check the replay size to see why you refer to that game. Hmm. Game 6 is 181 kilobytes. Or 181k kilobytes. That's gonna take a while. Am I up for a challenge after this? Probably not. I'm probably just gonna like sleep after this. I'll be very honest. Screw it. While we wait, maybe I can play the campaign. I don't know. I- You will get replays of entire set till then. Yeah, we'll just wait for the waiting for a replay cast. I'll check every couple of minutes, but let's just do some campaign or challenge in the meantime actually. We'll do the channels challenge. Whoops, does not work. Okay, in that case, maybe replay time. Don't cast it, one of the most boring Kampong replay. Trying to find something I can do while I wait to entertain you guys. Let me see. Oh, I know what I could do. Could try one of the TK Leo maps while we wait. But yeah, again, it might take a while to set that up because I don't have them immediately installed. Screw it, we'll just play a game while we wait. Just wait. First come, first serve. Check replay section of GR. Mm, to be honest, I'd rather just cast the main set replays. I don't want to have confusion if anyone wants to rewatch the stream. Let's see. Mary on fire. Be nice, Fargo. uh, got crew in the lobby. Interesting. Yeah, it's gonna take a while, that game. Mm, just interested to cast. Not interested in too much drama. Don't encourage it, fire him. Yeah, that game could take a very long time is the issue as well. I can sing till then. Got an awful singing voice. Don't think I can really offer that, unfortunately. Am I ready to cast nickname to working? Not sure about that one. also try some random free-for-all streams or free-for-all games while I'm waiting. Because if this does end up being a very long game, I wouldn't mind just joining a random FFA. As soon as that game ends, though, I will probably just leave right away for the cast. Need to swap over to Game Ranger. So let me just get this screen going. Oh wow, nice. We actually got a pretty filled up lobby very quickly. So yeah, while we're waiting, enjoy an FFA. Play against Hard Army. You're tempting me to make a joke there, but I won't. I got my gen tool open, and I'm just refreshing every couple minutes. Once the replay is uploaded. Oh no, it wasn't a joke about. It was a joke about like player skill, cause Hard Army. It ruins the joke because I have to explain it, but yeah. Oh, I'm next to an Air Force. Damn. This guy's going for a wall off. Between an infant and Air Force, a super weapon. Yeah, this is not the greatest start.
Let's get a job for me. Bring on the scaffolding. Yeah.
Don't think I want to sell, honestly.
Clock lay in the foundation. Let's build. That one's getting done. To work.
What I'm concerned about is the Air Force, though. Based off these letters, I'm not sure if it's a super skilled player.
That one's done. Clocked in. Make my own road.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Lay in the foundation. That one's done. What's the mission, sir? Bring on the scaffolding. I'll build anywhere. What's the mission, sir?
Let me launch one, huh?
What's the story?
Maybe I can get away with this, but I doubt it.
Getting to work.
Need a delivery, General?
Honestly, I might just try and build a forward in red space. Yeah, it's quite the laggy game. And he's gone War Factory. That might be combat nuke, actually. I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Job for me. Any more projects? New construction? Good area.
Upgrade
Yes, it is a
complete.
combat
Job
nuke.
for me. I'll build anywhere.
Oh, he's going fast. S&D. Whoa, okay, that's scary.
Got my missile launcher right
Interesting,
here.
interesting.
Always prepared. Special
Got my
forces
missile
here.
launcher right here.
Something for everyone. Provisions en route.
Let's build.
Good
Have a job
news
for me.
is he hasn't really touched
Keep it
me.
safe. Providing
And he's
resources.
Air Force. So that's nice.
Need a delivery, General?
Upgrade complete.
Clocked in. Finished. Have a job for me. Loud and clear. Keep 'em busy.
The building is ours.
What's the story?
We have their building.
Have a job for
I
me?
think I could actually just get away with this a little bit.
Always prepared. Special forces here.
Not sure what this fast S&D is planning to do. Oh, okay, canceled it. Never mind.
Laying the foundation.
I'll fire at anything.
I don't mind just
Any more
playing it a little bit
projects?
slow.
New construction. Sounds good.
Need a delivery,
Maybe Red's
General?
gonna go on his left guy.
What's the story? On the job.
But so far, I'm
Always prepared.
somehow
On the go.
untouched.
That one's
Ah, I say that, and I
Yeah.
literally get poked.
Moving. Enabling laser
Drawing a big
sights.
bullseye on it.
Always
That's
ready.
terrible timing.
Yeah.
Got my missile launcher right
Good
here.
area.
Yeah.
Unit lost.
Enabling laser sights. Shooting range.
Need a point, man?
Yeah, I'm dead.
Let's talk some tanks. Enabling laser sights.
As dead as dead could be.
Providing resources.
What's the story? Let's build. Finished. Always ready.
I'll fire at anything. Enabling laser sights.
Army's elite.
Let's pop some tanks.
Unit
Is he gonna
lost.
evac or what's he doing?
I want to blow something up. Laser
I'll get a
guidance
beat
ready.
on him.
New construction.
Yellow's saying he's fat.
Got my missile launcher.
Our base is being
On the
attacked.
trail. Laser guidance ready. Right here. Got my missile launcher right here. I'll fire at anything. Laser sights. Right here.
Clocked in.
Got my missile launcher right here. Let's pop some tanks. Got my missile
Yeah,
launcher
on
right
the
here.
job.
Let me launch one. Huh? Enabling laser sights.
He's gonna kill my oils.
Got my
He's
missile
gonna
launcher right
take him.
here. Let's pop
that
some
much?
tanks.
Special forces here. What's the mission, sir?
I got
Yeah,
you
I'm very
guys.
confused as to what Cyan's doing.
Ready for action.
I was
Yeah.
expecting more, I'm not
Enabling
gonna lie.
laser sights.
New construction.
Like, I should be dead, but
What's the mission,
he's
sir?
decided to go back. Oh, it's because Blue's pushing him.
I want to blow something
Okay,
up.
that's funny.
Army's
And I think he
elite.
just QQA'd.
Heading out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting
Always
saved
ready.
by Blue right now. That's nice.
Flashbangs
Sounds
are ready.
good.
New construction. All
Something
finished.
for
What's
everyone.
the story? Need a point, man? Grabbing a flashbang.
Hey, I'm not faulting him for it, but he
Clock
did
in.
attack me.
Going
So it
up.
is kind
New
of karma.
construction. Sounds good.
Yeah. Heading over.
Always prepared. Ready for action. Grabbing a flashbang.
Let's pop some tanks.
Want to make some improvements?
Still do have to worry about
On the job.
this Air Force, but he has not actually done much, and he was one hold the line for some reason.
I want to blow something up. Enabling laser shooting range.
I kind of don't want Green to get the kill, so I'm just gonna kill this Flamer.
How about a lift? Looks like a good run.
Yeah. Laser guidance
here.
ready on him.
Let's build.
Come on in. Oh yeah. Humpy here. Bring
That
it
new
loose.
Helix? It
Looks
is
like a
new
good
Unit
run.
Helix. I'm gonna hunt him
Got my missile launcher right here.
because he went after me. And I do not care.
They're in the sky. Whoa! Let's go for it.
Upgrade complete.
I want to blow something up.
Ready. Let's go.
Alright. Yep, we're on Game Ranger.
Always
Did I get sent the replay? No, I did not.
Humpy here.
Let me launch one.
Come on in. Break it
locked
loose.
in. Want to make
Blue's
some
getting a-
improvements?
Oh
I
man.
want to blow something up.
Special forces
That
here.
is
Always prepared.
Got
the
room
Game
for
Ranger
five.
Let's pop some
experience.
Come on in.
tanks.
Laying the foundation. On the job.
All block blue map hack.
How about a lift? Oh yeah. Come on in.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Humvee here. Oh, be careful now.
Got my missile launcher.
Cyan
Unit
is
lost.
what? What did I do?
Breaking loose. Oh, yeah.
Got my missile launcher right
Ha,
here.
this should be fun. Buckle up.
See you later,
in.
Cyan.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Oh wait, I'm playing pink. I thought he was talking to me because I usually play Cyan.
Got my missile launcher
Stupid.
right here.
Yeah. Search
How
and
about a lift?
destroy.
I'm gonna assume
Yeah.
no
Come on in.
particles, so
How
I'm
about
just
a
gonna
lift?
play it out.
Breaking loose.
This is Cyan. Okay. Oh, Peace Lover sent the replay. I'm quitting this. Yeah, I'm just gonna quit this. Let me get the replay. Let me open up my game and load up the replay. Let's see. Let me pull out the replay. Where is it? There we go. Okay, so this is game 5, which is Mary's now is the tank on Vendetta. Not sure why my game slowed down. And Tensor. Oh wait, it's because I have this locked on 30 FPS for some reason. Why is it locked on that? Okay. Regardless, we have Tensor now. Wait. Sorry guys, just give me a second. I'm not sure why the replay is actually so slow. It should be faster. Okay, it's just that slow, I guess. Strange. Okay, so Mary's in tank, green, on the bottom of Vendetta. Slower spin this time. And at the top, we got Tensor as the yellow Tox on the top of Vendetta. Slower spin. So Mary's this time is actually going to go for the forward supply as well. Question is, are we going to see a triple? Oh, he went... Okay, he went triple, but a very different idea of triple, which is triple dozer. I'm not a big fan of this because you can just do the same thing with 2 dozers and much more cost efficiently, but I guess the added benefit of a 3rd dozer is you have a truck that goes middle and you have this dozer that can just go for this supply over here. But you still need to consider this tunnel because this tunnel getting up is pretty massive, especially as Tox. Yeah, the worker gets in the garrison. Dozer will scout this, but the problem with this is that this crush is not as valuable as this crush or this crush. Because you're more concerned about the tunnel here and the tunnel here than the tunnel way over here. Early on, at least. So while this is good that he crushed it, he actually didn't really get that much out of it. Flamer through the middle is going to focus on that tunnel scaffold. RPG actually might deny the scaffold in time. Nope, it doesn't. But he's venturing it out forward. And the barracks actually is providing a nice barricade for the dozer. There's a bit of scaffold here. That might have been a terrorist from the tunnel blowing something up. Or no, that probably was the truck from earlier. Terrorist barely misses the flamer. Scorpion walked across map. Tech RPG, I'm assuming, is also coming in. Another tunnel being built around the oils. It will get up before this Gatling denies it as well, which is pretty big. Yeah, this tunnel is very scary to deal with. Tech RPG's now coming in from the side. Mary's actually went for an airfield. And he's going to early helix. With this triple dozer build, I'm not sure. One dozer's gonna go down. He does have 2 dozers extra. But this tech RPG is gonna be annoying. Yeah, there's the early helix. Tensor is on 2 supplies. Oh, the flamer walks through a tox tunnel. Yeah, that tox tunnel came in very handy for Tensor. That would have been a game-ending flamer if he didn't stop that. But I guess what is nice is Tensor does have a lot of scorpions early on. He didn't load the helix yet. He might lose a couple of his tank hunters. Helix is going to get severely damaged. Another dozer gets taken out. Tensor might actually think that Peace Lover is hunted as well. So we'll have to wait and see. Though if he was paying attention, his RPGs should be able to see that dozer. Yeah, he's spamming stingers. I think he didn't notice the dozer and he's just autopiloted on him, losing 2 dozers, therefore he's hunted. So Tensor might just spam a ton of defenses, but that may just buy Mary's a load of time as well. Second helix out as well. The Proplix. And the helixes, or helices, as I've been corrected previously, are clearing out the middle a little bit. Bunkerlix is pretty low. This flame wall is quite annoying, because even the scorpions are getting melted by 3 flame walls stacked on top of another. Gat is camping out this 3rd supply here from Tensor. And Mary's actually needs to make a second war factory at some point, because could get a lot more mileage out of having more ground units, I reckon, here. Even though you should be making quite a lot of elixirs, in my opinion, at this stage. Still think it's good having that second war factory to pump out lots of units at once. And he can afford it with 3 supplies. Another flamer snuck in, but Scorpion is tagged on top of it. Three helices out, and there's a MiG out as well. He might be using that MiG just for the Stinger Soldier. That's a really creative thing, if that is the case. I think that is the case, yeah. He's using this MiG purely just to clear the Stinger Soldiers. Yeah, that's very creative. I like that. And that's actually going to enable him to very comfortably clear out this entire area. I think he lost the MiG, but I think that's very much worth it. But he needs to deny this worker, obviously, as well. Scorpions are pushing in the front, while Tensor is getting pushed on the left. Lots of quads, but these tank flame walls are going to be a little bit helpful in terms of warding off the quad push for now. Mary's is about to get a CC. He has a second war factory. He's got a prop. Tensor's got the oils. Palace has only started now, so it is very much just the sheer spam, but a little bit of an optimistic engagement here from Mary's. That Stinker might finish off the Bunkerlix. Yeah, he does target from the Proplux to the Bunkerlux, and both Bunkerluxes actually go down. That's a very big loss as well, because each Bunkerlux is about 4.5k worth of investment. So yeah, that's very costly. Or no, 4.54k worth of investment about. Second arms being built for Tensor. Tensor still has not really made the supply. He's only built it now, so he was actually on 2 supplies and the oils for a while mainly. Mary's might push soon actually, given the fact he's got tech as well. See if he invests into the autoloaders or not. Mary's is almost 3-star actually. He's actually ahead in XP as the tank. Don't see that every day. Especially in these even-ish standoffs, GLA. Ulysses are clearing the left side up a little bit. T says World Series 2023 Tensor GG is going to be a problem. We already had a pretty good performance in 2022. Gave Size a bit of a run for his money. Artillery and mine drop, I'm assuming. Gamma upgrade for the Stingers, so it's a massive boost in terms of DPS. Oh, the artillery was actually on the tunnel. Nicely timed there from Mary's. It's gonna open up the right side of these oils, and he could either kill these oils or take them with the Lotus, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna take them with the Lotus. And there is actually a very open path on the right side of the map, so will Mary's clear this up, or will he just focus on the right hand side of the map? In the meantime, there is a Gamma bus pushing into this left supply. Tensor is 3-star as well, so access to Bounty, access to Toxin Orbital Ambush, all very deadly. Looks like he's gonna clear up the area around the oils a little bit, but there is a Gamma bus. No napalm on the MiGs yet, so these MiGs are pretty worthless, and they're also quite expensive because they're tank MiGs, about 1,800 a pop, give or take. Don't call OE campers after watching Tensor. Yep. In fact, it was OE that invented the concept of camping in the year 2005 when OE Mirage was playing a video game of Zirar, and he built more than 3 tunnels in one area. That was the first recorded instance of camping in history. I'm joking for those who can't sense the sarcasm, but I will not dwell on that topic anymore because I want to cast the game. Gamma bus gets locked on for a second, but does escape. More Gamma buses are being pumped, and Tensor's planning on Gamma bus spamming like no tomorrow, it seems, given the amount of buses he has in base, but 2 of them are empty. MiGs are in the air. No napalm, but he does just have a regular napalm storm, which is enough with the ECM lock. Gamma buses are always very, very punishing against tank, because look how fast tank just dies to one Gamma bus. Multiply that by yes many Gamma buses and Marys will have a problem in the long run at least. Oil here is in control for Marys. Lots of RPGs. Does he have AP rockets? Not yet. Once he gets AP rockets, these buses, I mean, they hit like a truck right now. I mean, with AP rockets, they are basically bulldozers in terms of building damage. Like, they can melt CCs in seconds, like with this many buses. Yeah, so no autoloaders on the Battle Masters. But yeah, lots of battle buses. But these battle buses are clumped up, so he loses 2 to 4 MiGs from one Firestorm. And that Flamer actually damages the bus quite a bit. This Helix needs to be very careful because it's chasing a bus. You never want to chase a bus with a Helix for that exact reason. Because the bus will hit you while the Helix can't hit the bus back because it's running away from the rockets. As the rockets trail too far and lose their fuel time. Another mine drop. Probably on these front tunnels. Bus is back in action, locked onto the Proplex, and yeah, that's not even AP rockets, and look how fast that Proplex dies. MiG gets taken out in the process of killing the bus. I mean, Mary's does have the eco lead, but this is really, really tough at this stage of the game, especially once Tensor has his second CC, I guess, because he already has his first one. I think he just forgot that he was building another CC. Yep, there's the Toxin Ambush. That's level 1 ambush as well, so probably level 4 bounty. Yeah, they melt everything, these Tox Orbals with Gamma. Tanks even get melted by them. Gamma bus is pressing forward, and yeah, Marius is a bit strapped for units at least. Cash-wise, I don't think he's in the worst spot, but unit-wise, the Toxin Rebel stream actually blocked the Flamer's flame from clearing the garrison. That's really unlucky. Yeah, one Gamma bus is enough to kite the whole of tank. It is very, very tough. Fargo smurfing Tensor. Double CC strat. I don't know, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, this one bus, man, just does so much damage, and tank feels very, very hopeless against this. Because you don't really have a proper answer to these Gamma buses. At any stage of the game, in fact. He said GG before, can't be him. Okay, fair enough. Theory disproven by nickname. Gamma bus is getting vehicle hacked. Disabled by the Lotus. But there is, yes, more Gamma buses on the way. Another Gamma bus comes in. And the Helix might die to this. Oh my god, yeah, that Lix almost got two-shotted by the Gamma bus's salvo. Yeah, if he had AP rockets, that would have been two-shotted. That just to put it into perspective how crazy they are. Prop is getting instantly torn apart. Bunkerlix gets ripped to shreds. Airfield gets taken apart with the MiGs on it. Proplix is dead, and I'm pretty sure Tensor's won this. Because, yeah, Tox at this stage is pretty unstoppable. So that's 4-1 to Tensor right now. Tensor with a very, very convincing lead currently. And I've gotten another replay. Let me just set up the replays for you guys quick. Where is... Okay. as such. Okay. Wrong room. Do that. Okay. We got stealth mirror. Oh no, this is another random reverse. Okay. Thought there was more, but guess not. Let me just adjust the heading a little bit so it looks nicer. There you go. Super weapon for Tensor on the top right of Forgotten Forest, or Forgotten Air Battle, sorry. Forgotten Forest is the official version. And we got Stealth in the green, Mary's in the bottom left of Forgotten Air Battle. Super weapon Stealth. Normally you'd say Stealth has a pretty good chance on this, but I think on this map in particular, Super does quite well. Because GLA doesn't really have a lot of expansions, so if you do bunker in early on, you're kind of good to go. Tensor's going for a very greedy build order. He's going oil grab, dozer drop simultaneously. And this dozer's doing nothing. This is a big mistake, I think. I think he should be building Patriots. Because your Vs are way too expensive as super weapon to really casually spam them out on low eco. Yeah, I disagree with this dozer going here, honestly. I'd rather he just make an EMP here, start taking a couple of these garrisons once capture's done. I like what he's going for, but I don't like the execution. Technical completely ignores this. Don't know if it's in his vision. It's actually not. War Factory will get up. Is this a TNT? That might be a TNT. That's 4 only. If Tensor's paying attention, he just needs to repair. Okay, that was a super big mistake from Tensor. If he just double tapped both of the buildings, then he was fine. But he just lost his War Factory and his supply to just 4 terrorists. Yeah, that's a huge mistake. That's a huge mistake for Tensor. Tensor's actually going for the oils now. There's a tunnel right here. Tensor's actually snuck the oil in. But his second supply is getting camped. Mary's is charging into MDs. Kills a bunch of rangers. Gets a Vet 3 technical. This tech denies the bottom oil grab. But yeah, Tensor went for a mega greedy build order. I guess he wanted to try something ambitious because it's a hard matchup. But I think honestly, you'd rather just go for EMPs behind this if you're gonna go oil grab. Because Vs are just too expensive for Super to casually spam. He lost his power, so he has to rebuild it inside the box, which delays the War Factor even more. And if Mary's has another TT followed up, I mean, it's kind of a death sentence for Tensor at this stage. If he does a TT plus Tech RPG as a follow-up. Combat chirp on this German cottage. Tensor's gonna lose his second supply. Mary's is still on the 1 arms dealer. He can't afford a second one or the palace, so should think about expanding his infrastructure a little bit here. I think he might have invested in an oil grab. Oh, hello. Nice. I like this move from Mary's. He's just killing the oil. He's not messing around and waiting for an oil capture or something. He's just killing it. Especially because he's playing very high tempo anyways, so you may as well kill the oil. TNT gets intercepted. Pretty unfortunate. I really would have timed this with big army push, because what I'd like to do is send one big army one way and the TNT either escorted in the army itself or on the side. If someone likes to defend with Vs on the sides like this, like I noticed Tensor is doing that here, then I would just escort the TNT from with the army in front and have it behind the army, so that way you can just divert at some point to go for whatever you want to TNT. Extremely ambitious supply for Marius, given the fact he's still on war and arms dealer. He does have an oil grab set up. I mean, yeah, if he did this push a little sooner with the army, he was only fighting 2 Vs, now he's fighting 4 Vs and a couple MDs on the ground. So this fight went from relatively easy to way harder. A lot of these things do add up, especially in a matchup like USA GLA, where the engagements are very much micro heavy. Imagine if Tensor GG comes back in this game too. Tensor winning against Dummy was the biggest upset so far. Yeah, Tensor won pretty convincingly against Dummy as well, I think. Tensor's looking for a combat drop. Marius is on to 3 supplies. Finally has a fake arms dealer, but it's still 2 arms dealers. He's got a hijacker around. He's gonna try and steal the dozer probably when it's building strat center. Ooh, is that the TNT? It is, but the dozer's got another layer of wall off with the power plant, so... Oh wait, I think, yeah, it should be big enough for the hijackers to sneak in. Tech's pick off a 1B. No, that power plant actually walls it off. Second V gets picked off, ambulance gets picked off. I think Tensor's done for here. Yeah, Dozer's getting gunned down. Once this Dozer goes for the repair, it's gonna get hijacked. It's kind of checkmate for Tensor. Yep, there's the hijack. And even if Marius doesn't put power, he still has hunted Tensor. And Tensor has no barracks as super weapon against stealth. And that's the GG. Obviously it's a replay, so you don't see the player chat, but Marius gets himself another point on the scoreboard. But the reverse is going to be tough. This is not an easy reverse to win. So now we got Marius as the green super weapon against Tensor, who is the yellow stealth. Do the spins. Slow spins, because we're in replay mode. And slow spins here. Sorry for anyone with motion sickness. Let's see how Marius does this. Is he gonna play it greedy, or is he just gonna play it standard? Nothing unusual so far. Worker built out here. Okay, it's just an arms here. I thought he was gonna do some tunnel spam build. Like a tunnel RPG push all in. Given the very peculiar positioning, but he's just not walling off his supply. War factory over there. Those just get going for a bit of a walk. Or a drive rather. Oh, it's actually double arms dealer. Okay, yeah. So he did that on purpose to try and avoid the spy drone. Let's see. He did avoid the spy drone? That's very important. Question is, does Marius pick up on it in time or not? But that is a really important scout dodge. Double arms is quite scary against super as well. I think this is one of the few maps you can very easily justify it in as well, given how open it is. Yeah, that's a lot of techs early game. If Marius is caught off guard, he might just flat out lose this. He brings 2 workers as well with one of the techs. But he's got 3 more techs. And he's immediately locked on, but not the greatest engagement so far for Tensor. Kills a V, which is important. This tunnel getting up is very important. Recycles the tech, or the terror tech, into a healthy tech, so that way you can charge it forward. I think what he wanted to do with this was he wanted to charge at the power, so he slows down the production a ton. Or I guess the barracks works too. But if I was in his position, I would have used this terror tactic, charge immediately at the power, slow down the production, and just TT spam Marys to death. I think that's a better way to execute this build than going for the barracks. EMP instantly counters this? Yeah, exactly. So, even though this standard build is obviously consistent, against this particular build order, it is very, very tough to stop without EMPs early on. And yeah, War Factory's getting camped out. There's no barracks production for Marys. Chinooks, I think, are trying to plan some kind of drop, or it might just be him trying to hover Hellfire drones above this, but he just makes one quad and he's fine. He doesn't have a tunnel in base, because he is just making techs to zoom cross-map. But yeah, he's got these drone carriers, essentially. But against this many techs, I mean, once he starts filling them up with like RPGs, it's not really that deadly. Yeah, I like this dual arms build. It's rare that you see it, but when it works wonders usually. I used to do this build very often, but I very rarely do this build nowadays. The last time I did this was earlier today, predicting a China all-in. But before that, probably a couple months, last time I did in a 1v1. Can I make letters of Gen tool bigger? Sure. Here you go. Yeah, I mean, this many techs this early on against super weapon is pretty chaotic, to say the least. There really isn't much you can do. You just need to engage really well and play around defenses, but if you're economically behind, kind of just get shredded like this. And yeah, that's the GG. So another game goes to Tensor, and that puts Tensor at 5 games, which means technically he's won the set overall, but it's a fixed 9 games, so there's still more to be played. Let's see. So another replay has been sent in. Let me just download that. Okay. So let's score. It's 5-2. So I think it's just 2 mirrors. Or maybe it's just more random reverses. I actually don't know. I need to refresh myself on the format. I haven't casted anything in this tournament, so not immediately familiar with the format. And it is US demo. Okay, it's another random reverse. And that makes it the last random reverse, actually. Because it's 5-2. Okay, so slow spin for Mary. We got USA, green. Slow spin for Tensor. We got demo, yellow. On Snowy Drought. So GLA can pretty comfortably go 3 supplies on this map usually against the US, given the distance, given the 3rd supply being close. And you also have this very deadly death trap, I like to call it, where you essentially send a tech RPG to this bunker from the US with a worker. You build a tunnel behind this bunker, and it is near impenetrable. In the early game at least, unless you stop the tunnel from going up. He is demo, so he's got better TTs. Drop coming in from Mary. Let's see what he pulls out. Pulls out a dozer. he does have demo terrorists, so he's not gonna kill his workers, and stops that pretty comfortably. So good start already for Tensor. And Tensor's actually gone triple supply as well. Marius has gone inside of the box. V goes inside of the Chinook. And he's actually going to go to that left supply. He's actually built the Hellfire immediately, which is a bit of a mistake because the drone will lag behind. He should build the Hellfire once he drops the V over here. So that way the Hellfire will spawn immediately on top of this V. So if a tech comes in to defend now... Oh, he didn't back out in time. That's a big mistake. Yeah, he didn't back out in time. And he lost the 500 for the Hellfire drone too. So this is very bad start for Mary so far. Yeah, he's not having a good time this set. I can say that much at least. Exhale says was a very nice counter. Yeah, I didn't even rally scout that game, by the way. I just, as soon as I saw the map, I thought you were gonna either go regular helices or helix all in. Either way, double arms counters that pretty well for the most part. So I didn't really have to think too much about it. I made a tech just to check for oils, but yeah. Tensor's in the death trap spot now, so it's a little bit left of it, but same idea. Just camp this, you make a tunnel up here, and you basically camp the main supply and pressure the main production. Tensor's trying to move the worker around. It's playing a bit of footsie around this tunnel scaffold, but loses a V in return. Ambo could crush these. Keep in mind, if he takes pot shots from these RPGs, he is taking damage that he has to heal off, which could potentially lead to a follow-up technical finishing off that V. I think that's a TNT. No, this is a decoy. This is the real one. He's sending the decoy a bit too early, but I think he's going for the supply, which is also a pretty good target. Second arms is up. It's still a fake though. Zoom in for faster spin. No, it's not just that. It's also the fact that my FPS for some reason is very, very low in replay mode. I honestly don't know why, because I normally have a pretty high FPS limit, but it's capped at 30 FPS right now, which is not normal. Maybe it's because it's on MDS mode. Maybe if I turn that off without missing the action. TNT over here. See if I can swap it before. Yeah. Does that fix it? No, it doesn't. Oh well. Keep MDS back on. Okay. What does L do? Just the network lag. Okay, I have no clue what that does. I'm not gonna toy with that. Oh, that's really cheeky. Walled in with the tunnel, but it does get stopped. There's a sting coming in from the left side. These technicals again. I mean, Tensor's very far ahead, because Marius is on 1.5 supplies right now. Another TNT coming in. Yeah, Tensor's just playing this very well. I think Tensor is very much having a good day. Oil grab going on. Let's see if Tensor pays attention to it. V's are moving forward. Tensor is paying attention, but his V's are getting, or his techs are a bit idle. Ooh, does he stop it in time? Stops the oil, not the refinery, but the oil is more important at this stage. Tunnel in the middle gets cleared, but once again, there is a lot of techs for Tensor. Oh, and he actually did get the TNT off and kill the dozer. I missed that, sorry about that, but yeah. Now he just needs to send this technical to TNT the barracks and Tensor's out of production, but now Tensor's on a timer, or sorry, Marius is on a timer in terms of his V count. And that is a lot of Vs, or a lot of technicals. I keep mixing it up, but one V goes down, 2 Vs are left. Technical is gonna go for the last production building, crushes a bunch of the MDs. He may actually kill 2 buildings, and Mary's says GG because he doesn't have much else left at that point. And yeah. Got the last replay just now as well from Mary's. So we just got one more replay to cast, and we are reaching the conclusion of this set between Tensor and Mary's. Very dominant performance from Tensor, I do have to say. He is very much on form today. Some sort of team FFG after this replay cast? Probably not. I will very likely be online for a little bit, but I'll probably head to bed afterwards. Anyways, Tensor is actually going for an early barracks. I mean, I think he's just trying to be time efficient, but he should honestly just stop the oh, okay, that's why it's for the Ranger. I thought he was just trying to be efficient with his dozer build time because he has an idle dozer there, but he's just going for an early grab behind it. Mary's going for fake arms theater, but lots of tunnels, so no third. Early oil for Tensor. Nice demo trap. Pulls away that. That's very risky to do, by the way. To pull away your terrorists like this, especially if this tunnel's not complete, because if your opponent's doing a late dozer drop, that can screw you over. I've had that multiple times. He's actually got 5 terrorists. And he's leading with a tech RPG first. Interesting. If he brought a worker, that would have been really good. So he could take the death trap immediately. No laser lock from Tensor, fortunately for him. Loads up the tech. 5 terrorists. 5 terrorists is a bit excessive, I feel. Given your demo. Maybe he wants 1 for the fire base and 1 for a supply? This worker is idle. Really wasted potential here. Could have put this worker behind the bunker immediately. Okay, worker does survive. Kills 1 dozer. Attempts to kill 1 dozer. If he force fires, he can still get it, but he needs to be quick. Yeah, dozer's too far out. Misses the opportunity. He has 1 terrorist left. Maybe he gets something. Kills a V with an MD. That's good. Okay. Kills a supply and a V. I think that's worth it. He's getting his 3rd supply up, and he is establishing the death trap, but combat drop is coming. And he doesn't have any techs to back up this worker, so these rangers can't just chase the worker down. Or just gun it from the garrison. Dozer is still alive here. RPGs will clear it up. Tunnel gets dropped. And yeah, Tensor's getting camped out here. Ranger still has not taken this oil as well because of death trap engagement here. Tensor might get squeezed in here because he is on 1 supply, 1 oil essentially. But I think Mary's is also being a bit overzealous with these individual unit engagements. He needs to group up a little bit before he keeps going. That is going to go down to the laser lock. And that is a Vet 1 Ranger, which may actually gun down the terrorist before it can hit the oil. Especially if it's running into the fence. Oh, it's going to be close. Okay, barely makes it. Yeah, now Tensor's on one supply, so this is very much Tensor in the red zone right now. Loses a V, MD gets tossed into the air. Marius is on the 2 arms. Tensor is on the 1 supply spam. But keep in mind, Marius has lost a lot of tech, so his numbers are not that high at the moment. Or at least as high as they should be. Another TNT coming in. Tensor, I think, is just gonna posture defensively for a little bit. Little bit of a Rambo engagement from Marius. Kills the barracks. Maybe he's gonna try and charge with a dozer, but no, there's only 2 inside. Loses nothing for 3 techs and a couple RPGs. Pretty good defense so far. He only lost the barracks, in essence. But Marius still has quite a lot of map control, so it's nowhere near over. Okay, it's dotting down demo trap here and there. Another TNT gets intercepted. Yeah, Tensor basically has to play perfect for like the next couple minutes if he wants to win this. That's kind of how this has to go. Spy drone did detect the demo trap for a second. Hopefully Tensor remembers where that was. Yep, gets detected. It's gonna maybe force fire with the MD at some point. Tech's going in through the right side now. Crushes 2 rangers, gets an instant vet 2. Yep, camps the barracks once again, but once again the techs are kind of putting themselves in a bad angle. Ambo charges head first, loses 2 Vs. The Ambo of all things doesn't die here, which is very surprising. Yeah, there's the palace. I was thinking Marius needs the palace at this point, and yeah, as I was thinking that, he's ahead on that regard. Dunk traps getting dotted down here and there. Another TNT. He's just streaming it past the army. I think Marius needs to be a little bit more mindful in terms of where he's sending these TNTs, because he is just kind of sending them in predictable patterns. Like it's sort of easy to telegraph them because he is putting them near vision spots that Tensor has, or either near vision spots or from angles that are quite easy to defend. So that time he sent it right next to the army. The other time he sent it directly into the army. He's not really trying to finesse the army out of position. At the same time though, Marius is camping out Tensor, but Tensor has his Vs on top of the arms leaders, and this is important. So might end up seeing a base race situation here. Although there is a palace up. Just needs to take the palace. He's in the clear. There we go. Tensor, I think, is hunted though. It was a big mistake that he didn't load that Chinook up and airlift the dozer. Because now he went from hard win possibility to next to impossible win, I think. Because Marius just needs to TNT 3 buildings and he wins. There's a loaded palace as well. So that's going to be very, very tough to siege. There's 1 building down, 2 more left to go. The war factory and the supply are left. Yep, Marius is jotting down buildings. The right side too. Will Tensor engage this palace is the question. He needs to get the fortified buildings upgraded as well, because that makes that palace so tanky once you have it. Tensor does not have barracks, so he can't make pathfinders for defensive positioning against the terrorists. Marius could rebuild a supply here. Make this little corner behind the palace. Should be nice. Does have quite a few techs. You should make a supply here as well. see. Does Mary's close this game out is the question. Am I playing after? No, not. No, Anthony. Fargo, be nice. I already said this earlier. Not on my streams. Anyways. Supply is getting camped out by Tensor. And that's a TNT. Hits the Crusader. He's really trying to get those last buildings. I mean, it's a bit of an awkward spot, but I don't think Mary's is in the worst position. I think he just needs to re-cooperate his forces a little bit. But he is clearing up the Tovies. He's got 2 super techs, potentially a 3rd one. There's the deadly V-blob. So he's running back. But yeah, Mary's just needs to buy his time a little bit. Honestly, he could literally send Demo Jarman on a bike, go through the cliff, go from here, TNT the War Factory, and then it's just a supply left, for example. Like, he's not really in the biggest rush. He just needs to play defensive, honestly. And just send the occasional TNT, or maybe Jarman on a bike to TNT it. Yep. Tovies get cleared up, and War Factory is under threat. This arms leader is under threat, but this palace spot is critical because he needs to mine with this worker, but that palace is essentially unbreakable if there's a Jarman inside of it with RPGs. Hellfire drone is gonna gun down the grenade tech. There's 2 Vet 3Vs, and I think they're
Low
quite
power.
full. No, only one is full. Again, he just needs to play it safe. He doesn't need to make a move happen. I think he wanted to try and cut off that technical with a drop. That would have been really sick if he actually managed to pull that off, but alas. TNT loaded up into the grenade tech. Tensor's gonna try for one last hurrah. And again, these tech terrors are getting telegraphed constantly because he's kind of going through close spots to the Vs. Remember, these spy drones have pretty high vision, so you can't really just walk past the army casually like this. Having said that, Tensor's now out of position. Is he going for a TNT on the army? Why is he doing that? He just needs to go for the base. He literally does not need to touch this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Palace is gonna kill the last V. There's no way he can win now. He has no units. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, he's taking unnecessary risks by sending the TNT technical after that when he could just TNT the last building.
You are
Anyways, Mary's closes out the game. Ends the set with 6-3 to Tensor's favor. So, hard luck for Mary's today. I know he can do a lot better. And he did seem a bit uncharacteristic in his play, at least early on the set. So, it is what it is. GG's well played to Tensor. Tensor played very well. Not to take anything away from him, so yeah, it was very well played from Tensor, and yeah, I shall sign off for now. Thanks for watching, and